My dear child, listen very closely right now, because what I am about to share with you is not just a message. It is a love letter written before the foundation of the world, sealed with grace, and delivered straight to your heart at this exact moment in your life. You did not find these words by accident. You did not stumble here by chance. I brought you here because I know your name, I know your pain, I know your story, and I love you more deeply than any ocean, more completely than any love you have ever felt from any person on this earth. So please, do not rush through what I am about to tell you. Let every single word settle into your soul, like rain falling on dry ground, because your spirit has been waiting for this moment for a very long time. Before we go any further, I want you to understand something so simple and yet so powerful that it can change everything about how you see yourself and how you see your future. You are not a mistake. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are not too old, too young, too weak, or too sinful. You are my child, and I am your father. And there is absolutely nothing in this universe that can ever change that truth. Not your past mistakes, not other people's opinions, not your failures, not your fears, and not even the lies that the enemy has been whispering into your ear for years, telling you that you do not deserve to be loved. You deserve to be loved because I made you, and everything I make is valuable beyond measure. Think about how a little child runs to their father after a long day. They do not worry about whether they are clean enough or good enough. They just run with their arms wide open, trusting completely that those strong arms will catch them, hold them, and make everything feel safe again. That is exactly how I want you to come to me. With no shame, with no performance, with no long list of reasons why you think you deserve my attention. Just come, just run. Just fall into my arms and let me hold you, because I have been waiting for this moment with a love so patient and so deep that it goes beyond anything your mind can fully understand right now. Now let me tell you something that I need you to really hear. There have been people in your life who promised to love you and then walked away. There have been people who made you feel like you had to earn their approval, like you had to be a certain way or do certain things just to be accepted. And when you could not meet their expectations, when you stumbled or fell or made the wrong choice, they turned their backs on you. And that hurt. I know it hurt. Those wounds are still there inside you, hidden underneath your smile, buried under your brave face. I see them all. And today, I want to begin to heal every single one of them, because I am nothing like those people. I do not love you based on what you do for me. I do not love you on the days when you are strong and withdraw on the days when you are weak. My love for you is not a feeling that comes and goes like the weather. My love for you is an eternal flame that was burning before you were born and will keep burning long after this world is gone. It is the kind of love that looked at you at your worst and still said, "You are worth everything to me." It is the kind of love that sent my own son to walk this painful earth, to suffer, to be rejected, to be betrayed, and to die, just so that the wall between you and me could be torn down forever. That is not a small love. That is not an ordinary love. That is a love that defies every law of logic and shocks the very angels of heaven. And that love is yours, right now, today, not when you get better, not when you fix your life, not when you stop struggling with that thing you have been struggling with for years. Right now, in this moment, exactly as you are fully and completely loved by the God who made the galaxies with a single word. I want to talk to you about your journey, because I have been watching every step of it. I have seen the mornings when you woke up and did not want to get out of bed. I have seen the nights when you lay awake staring at the ceiling, your mind racing with worries about money, about relationships, about your future, about whether any of it is ever going to get better. I have seen you smile in public and fall apart in private. I have seen you encourage other people when your own heart was running completely empty. And through all of it, through every single hard and heavy moment, I was there. I was not watching from a distance with folded arms. I was right there beside you, closer than your own breath, grieving with you in your pain, celebrating with you in your small victories, and holding together the pieces of your heart when you felt like everything was falling apart. You have been so strong. You may not feel strong. In fact, right now you might feel like the very opposite of strong. But strength is not the absence of pain. Strength is choosing to keep going even when every part of you wants to give up. And you have done that over and over again. Every morning you got up when you wanted to stay down was an act of incredible courage. Every time you chose hope over hopelessness, even just for a moment, that was faith working inside you. And I want you to know that none of that has gone unnoticed. Heaven has been watching, and heaven is proud of you. But I also want to tell you this. You do not have to keep carrying everything alone. You were never designed to carry it alone. I did not make you to be a one-person army, fighting every battle with sheer willpower and gritted teeth. I made you to walk with me, to lean on me, to bring me your worries and your fears and your questions and your confusion, and to let me carry the weight that is too heavy for your human shoulders. My yoke is easy and my burden is light, not because life has no hard moments, but because when you carry it with me, you are never carrying it by yourself. My strength flows into your weakness. My peace fills your anxiety. My wisdom guides you through the confusion. And my love, my great and endless love, gives you the energy to keep going when your own supply has completely run out. If you have been trying to live this life on your own strength, I gently ask you today to stop, not because you are failing, but because you were meant for something so much better than exhausting yourself, trying to figure everything out on your own. You were meant for a life of partnership with me, a life where every morning you wake up and say, "Father, I cannot do this without you," and I hear you say it, and I smile, and I say, "I know, my child." And that is exactly why I am here. Every video on this channel is created with love, faith, and dedication to sharing God's Word. If these messages inspire and encourage you, you can support our mission through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for being part of this journey. Now, I want to speak to something very specific. I want to speak to the shame that you have been carrying. Because so many of my children are walking around with this invisible weight pressing down on their hearts. This constant feeling that they are not good enough, that they have done too much wrong, that if people really knew the truth about them, they would be rejected and abandoned. That shame is a lie. And today, in this moment, I want to break its power over your life. Whatever you have done, whatever mistakes fill your memory and make you cringe in the quiet hours of the night, whatever you are afraid someone might find out about you, whatever you are most ashamed of, listen to me carefully. I already know all of it, every single detail. And I still chose you. I still love you. I still have a plan for your life that is so full of purpose and beauty that it would take your breath away if you could see it clearly. My love is not surprised by your worst moments. My love is not disgusted by your failures. My love looked at everything you have ever done and everything you will ever do, and it said, "I still want this child. I still choose this one. I still believe in this one." Do you know what that means? It means your shame has no authority over your future. It means the enemy cannot use your past to define your tomorrow. It means that every label people have put on you, every name you have been called, every lie that has told you that you are worthless and hopeless and beyond saving, Every single one of those lies is crushed beneath the weight of my love for you. You are not what happened to you. You are not what you did. You are not the worst version of yourself. You are my child, redeemed, restored, renewed, and filled with a purpose that no human being has the power to take away from you. Before you go any further, if this message is speaking to your heart right now, if you are feeling something stirring deep inside you, I want to ask you to take a moment and subscribe to this channel, because this is a place where I want to speak to you regularly, where I want to remind you of who you are and whose you are, and where I want to pour fresh strength and fresh hope into your spirit every single day. Do not miss what I am about to release through this channel. Subscribe right now and make sure you never miss a single word. Now let me tell you about the dreams I have placed inside you, because here is something you may not fully realize yet. Every deep desire in your heart, every vision of something greater, every quiet longing for a life that means something and leaves behind something beautiful, those did not come from nowhere. I put them there. Before you were born, I placed those seeds of purpose deep inside your soul, knowing that one day, at exactly the right time, they would begin to grow into something that would change not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Maybe people have told you that your dreams are too big. Maybe you have been told to be more realistic, to lower your expectations, to stop reaching for things that seem impossible. And maybe after hearing that enough times, you started to believe it. You started to shrink yourself down, to play it safe, to hide the fullness of who you are, because the world made you feel like too much. But my child, you were not made to be small. You were made in my image, and I am not small. The potential I placed inside you is not small. The future I have prepared for you is not small. And today I am asking you to stop apologizing for the greatness I put in you. Think about David. He was the youngest son, the one nobody thought about, the one left out in the field watching sheep, while his brothers were presented before the prophet. When Samuel came to his family looking for the next king of Israel, not one person in that house thought of David. But I saw him. I looked past everything the world uses to measure value, and I looked straight at his heart. And I chose him. Not because he was perfect. Not because he never made mistakes. David made some of the biggest mistakes you will read about in all of Scripture. But because his heart kept turning back to me. Because even in his failures, he kept reaching for my presence. And because of that, history still speaks his name thousands of years later. You are that David. You are the one that people have overlooked. You are the one that the world did not think was important enough, talented enough, qualified enough. But I have been looking at your heart, and I have chosen you. And just like David, your story is not going to end in that field. Your story is going to end in a palace of purpose, surrounded by the evidence of everything my grace has done through a life that was fully surrendered to me. Think about Joseph. His own brothers threw him in a pit and sold him like he was worth nothing. He ended up in a foreign country, a slave, with no family, no freedom, and no obvious future. And then when things seemed like they could not possibly get worse, he was falsely accused and thrown into prison. From the outside, his life looked like a complete disaster. It looked like every door had closed, every dream had died, every hope had been crushed. But I was working. In the pit, I was working. In the slave house, I was working. In the prison, I was working. And in ways that Joseph could not see from where he was standing, I was arranging every single circumstance to bring him to the exact place I had always intended for him to be. And that is what I am doing in your life right now. Even in the moments that look like dead ends. Even in the seasons that feel like prison. Even in the situations that make no sense and bring nothing but pain, I am working. I am rearranging things. I am moving people and opening doors and closing doors and setting up divine appointments that you cannot yet see. And at exactly the right moment, at the moment I have already chosen, everything is going to shift. And you are going to look back at the pit and the prison and understand, with tears of gratitude streaming down your face, that every single hard thing was part of the path that brought you into everything I promised. So please, do not give up. I know you are tired. I know the waiting is hard. I know there are days when you wonder if any of this is real, if I am actually listening, if your prayers are actually going anywhere. But I am here. I am listening. And every prayer you have ever prayed has been heard and recorded, and is being answered in ways that your human eyes cannot yet fully see. Keep going. Keep trusting. Keep reaching for me, because the breakthrough you have been waiting for is not as far away as it feels right now. Let me talk to you now about the enemy of your soul, because I want you to understand something very important. The reason you have faced so much opposition, the reason there has been so much warfare in your life, the reason the enemy has worked so hard to discourage you and defeat you and make you want to give up, is not because you are weak. It is because you are dangerous to his kingdom. A person with no purpose and no destiny does not get attacked the way you have been attacked. The enemy does not waste his arrows on people who pose no threat. The level of opposition you have faced is actually a confirmation of the level of calling on your life. He is afraid of what you will become when you fully step into everything I have planned for you. He is terrified of what will happen when you stop doubting yourself and start walking in the fullness of your identity as my child. So he works overtime to keep you stuck in shame, stuck in fear, stuck in confusion, stuck in comparison, stuck in anything that will slow you down and keep you from reaching your divine destination. But here is the truth that changes everything. Greater is the one who is in you than the one who is in the world. The power that lives inside you, the same power that raised my son from the dead, is greater than anything the enemy can bring against you. You are not fighting from a position of weakness. You are fighting from a position of absolute victory, because the battle has already been won. The cross settled it. The empty tomb confirmed it. And all that is left is for you to believe it and walk in it. When the enemy whispers that you are defeated, tell him you are victorious. When he says you are forgotten, remind him that your name is written on my hands. When he says your situation is hopeless, remind him that I am the God of the impossible, the God who makes a way where there is no way, the God who opens rivers in the desert and makes dry bones come back to life. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you will show to be in the wrong. This is your heritage as my servant, and I will make it real in your life. Now I want to speak to your family, because your life is not just about you. The blessings I have planned for you are blessings that will flow through you to the people you love most. I see your family. I know every struggle happening under your roof. I know the tension, the worry, the financial pressure, the relational pain, the things that keep you up at night because you love these people so deeply and you want so badly for things to be okay for them. And I want you to hear me say this clearly. I have not forgotten your family. I have not overlooked your household. The same love and faithfulness I am showing to you right now, I am extending to every person you have lifted to me in prayer. Your prayers for your children are not going unheard. Your tears for your marriage are not being ignored. Your intercession for the family member who has walked away from faith is not wasted. I am at work in every single one of those situations, even when you cannot see any evidence of movement. Trust me with your family, the same way you trust me with your own heart. And watch as I do things in the lives of the people you love. that will make you stand in awe of my goodness and my faithfulness. We are committed to spreading hope, faith, and the message of Jesus Christ to people around the world. If you would like to help us continue this work, please visit our Ko-fi or PayPal links below. Your kindness means more than words can express. I also want to speak to your finances, because I know that money worries have kept you awake at night, and I know that fear about provision has sometimes made it hard for you to fully trust me. My child, I own everything. Every resource in this entire universe belongs to me. The silver and the gold are mine. The cattle on 1,000 hills are mine. And you are mine, which means you are connected to an unlimited supply that never runs dry. I am not unable to provide for you. I am not limited by the economy or the job market or any circumstance on this earth. I am the Lord who provides. And I have never once failed to take care of my children. And I am not going to start with you. Now, that does not mean life will always be easy, or that challenges around money will never come. But it means that when they do come, you have access to a God who specializes in making ways out of no way, who multiplies what you have when you offer it to Him in faith, who sends provision from directions you never expected and through people you never anticipated. Keep your hands open. Keep your heart trusting. And watch as I show off in your finances in ways that make it absolutely clear that only I could have done this. Let me speak now about your health, because I know some of you are carrying physical burdens that have been weighing on you. Maybe it is a diagnosis that frightened you. Maybe it is a chronic condition that has been with you for so long that you have almost forgotten what it felt like to be fully well. Maybe it is pain that you carry every single day and smile through, because you do not want to burden anyone else with it. I see that too, and I want you to know that I am the God who heals. Not was, not used to be, I am. Right now, still healing, still restoring, still doing what the doctors have said cannot be done. Bring your body to me. Lay your sickness at my feet. Ask me to work in the places where medicine has reached its limits, because I have no limits, and I am not finished with your story yet. I also want to speak to your emotional health, because so many of my children are hurting on the inside in ways that they have never told anyone about. Depression that feels like a heavy blanket that you cannot get out from under. Anxiety that makes every day feel like walking through a minefield. Grief that you have been carrying for so long that you have forgotten what it feels like not to be sad. Loneliness that exists even when you are surrounded by people. These are real. These are painful. And I do not minimize them or dismiss them. I see every layer of your emotional pain, and I want to heal every single one of them. Come to me with your emotional pain the same way you would come to me with a physical wound. Do not hide it. Do not pretend it is not there. Do not tell yourself you should be over it by now, or that you have no right to feel this way. Bring it to me. All of it. The ugly parts, the embarrassing parts, the parts you are most afraid to look at. Bring it all, and watch as my love goes into those deep, dark places and begins to shine light into every corner, not to expose you or shame you, but to heal you and set you free. You were not made to live in pain. You were not created for a life of anxiety and depression and grief. Those things came in through the broken world, and I am in the business of restoring what the broken world has stolen. The joy I have for you is not a surface-level happy feeling. It is a deep, unshakable, anchored joy that remains even when circumstances are hard, because it is rooted not in what is happening around you, but in who I am inside you. And that kind of joy, my child, is waiting for you. It is not far away. It is not reserved for someone else who has it more together than you do. It is yours right now, today, if you will open your hands and receive it. Now let me talk to you about the people around you. because I want to say something important about relationships. Not every person who has been in your life was supposed to stay there. Some people were sent to teach you something. Some people came for a season, and when that season ended, they moved on, or you moved on. And that was not a failure. That was my plan unfolding. Do not grieve the people I have moved out of your life. Trust that I know what you need, and who you need, and when you need them. I am the author of your relationships, just as much as I am the author of every other part of your story. But I also want to speak to the hurt that was caused by the people who left in painful ways. The ones who betrayed you. The ones who used you. The ones who promised they would stay, and then walked out when things got hard. That pain is real, and I am not asking you to pretend it is not. But I am asking you to bring it to me and let me heal it, because carrying unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. The only person it hurts is you, and I have too good a future planned for you to let you be held back by wounds from your past. Forgiveness does not mean what they did was okay. It was not okay. It does not mean you have to let them back into your life. It means you release them from the debt you feel they owe you, and you hand that debt over to me. And when you do that, something miraculous happens inside you. A heaviness lifts. A door opens. A new freedom begins to flow through your spirit that makes you feel lighter and more alive than you have felt in years. That freedom is waiting for you on the other side of forgiveness. And I believe with my whole heart that you are ready to walk through that door. If you are being blessed by this message, if these words are touching something deep inside your spirit, please take a moment right now to share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Think about the person in your life who has been struggling, who has been feeling forgotten or unloved or hopeless, and send this to them today. Be the reason someone else encounters the love of their Father. Be the voice that wakes up someone else's sleeping faith. You have the power to do that, and I am asking you to use it. Now let me talk to you about the next chapter of your life, because I want you to look forward with hope and not backward with regret. What is ahead of you is greater than what is behind you. The best days of your life are not in your past. They are in front of you. I know that might be hard to believe right now, especially if the last few years have been really difficult. But my word does not lie. And my word says that I have plans for you, plans for a future and a hope, plans that are good and not evil, plans that will bring you to an expected end, that is full of everything I promised. The next chapter is going to look different from everything that came before. It is going to require a new level of faith, a new level of boldness, a new level of trust. There will be moments when I ask you to step out of your comfort zone and walk towards something that feels impossible. And in those moments, the fear will be real, but so will my presence. And I will never ask you to go somewhere that I am not already waiting for you on the other side. I want you to begin to dream again. I want you to let hope rise in your heart, like the sun coming up after the longest night. I want you to allow yourself to believe that good things are coming, that miracles are possible, that the story is not over, that the best is not behind you. Because I am a God of new beginnings. I am a God who makes all things new. And I am ready to write a new chapter in your life that is more beautiful and more meaningful than anything that has come before. So here is what I am asking you to do today. Wake up tomorrow morning, and before you reach for your phone or start thinking about your to-do list, take 5 minutes to just sit with me. Just breathe. Just be still. Let me speak to your heart in that quiet space. Let me fill you with fresh courage and fresh peace before the day begins. Let that be the start of a new rhythm between us, a rhythm of daily closeness, daily trust, daily surrender, because that kind of walking with me day by day, moment by moment, conversation by conversation. That is what builds a life that is truly unshakable. Read my word every day, not as a religious duty, but as a love letter from a father to a child who is deeply cherished. Every page of scripture is filled with evidence of my faithfulness, with stories of people just like you who were broken and afraid and uncertain, and who found in me everything they could never find anywhere else. Let their stories give you courage. Let their faith ignite yours. Let the truth of my word become the lens through which you see everything in your life. Pray every day, not with fancy words or perfectly constructed sentences, but with honest words that come straight from your heart. Tell me what you are afraid of. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you are grateful for. Tell me what you are confused about. I love the sound of your voice calling out to me. I love the sincerity of a heart that comes to me with nothing to hide and everything to give. Prayer is not a religious performance. It is a conversation between a child and their father. And I am always listening. Surround yourself with people who are walking in the same direction. People who encourage your faith, who speak truth to you in love, who push you closer to me rather than pulling you away. The relationships you choose will shape the person you become, so choose them wisely. And where possible, be that kind of person for someone else. Be the friend who points people toward hope. Be the voice in someone else's life that echoes what I am saying right now. Be a carrier of my love in every room you enter and in every life you touch. This ministry exists to bring encouragement, prayer, and God's truth to every heart that needs it. You can stand with us through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. May God bless you abundantly for your love and support. My dear child, I want you to stop whatever you are doing right now. Just for a moment, put everything else aside. Put down the weight of your worries. Put aside the noise of the world around you, and just be still. Because what I am about to speak into your heart today is not just another message that will pass through your ears and disappear. These words are going to find the deepest, most hidden parts of your soul, the parts that you have never shown anyone, the parts that carry the most pain, the most longing, the most unanswered questions. And I am going to speak directly into those places with a love so real and so powerful that by the time we are done, nothing inside you is going to feel quite the same as it did before. You need to understand something before we go any further. The fact that you are here right now is not a coincidence. There are billions of people on this earth, and out of all of them, you are the one sitting here in this moment hearing these words. That did not happen by accident. I arranged this. I set this up. I have been working behind the scenes of your life, moving things around, closing certain doors and opening others, allowing certain paths to lead you right here to this moment, because I have something specific to say to you today, something that your heart has been waiting to hear for a very long time. And I need you to receive it not just with your mind, but with your whole heart wide open. Let me start by telling you the thing that matters more than anything else I will say today. I know you. Not the version of you that you show to the world. Not the person you pretend to be when you are around other people. Not the polished, put together, everything is fine version that you present, because you are afraid of what people will think if they see the real you. I know the real you, the one who lies awake at night with thoughts racing through their mind, the one who has cried in the shower so nobody could hear, the one who has smiled through situations that were breaking them on the inside, the one who has questioned everything, including whether I am real, whether I care, whether any of this faith that they have been holding on to actually means anything. I know that person, and I love that person completely, without condition, without limit, without end. You have been trying so hard. I see it. I see how much energy you pour into trying to hold everything together, trying to be everything to everyone, trying to meet expectations that sometimes feel impossible to reach. You have been running on empty for a long time, and you have become so good at hiding it that most people around you have no idea how tired you really are. But I see it. I have always seen it. And today I want to say to you very gently and very clearly, you can stop now. You can stop performing. You can stop pretending. You can stop trying to earn what I have already freely given you. Just stop and breathe. And let me love you exactly as you are right now, in this moment, without you having to change a single thing first. Because here is the truth that changes everything. My love for you is not something you earn. It is not a reward for good behavior. It is not something that increases when you do well and decreases when you fail. It is not conditional on your consistency or your perfection or your ability to have it all together. My love for you is a gift that was given before you ever did anything to deserve it, and it will remain long after every mistake you will ever make. It is the most stable thing in your entire universe. Everything else can shake. Relationships can fall apart. Jobs can disappear. Health can fail. Situations can collapse. But my love for you will never waver, never weaken, never walk away, and never run out. It is the one thing in your life that you never have to worry about losing. And I want that truth to become the foundation upon which you build everything else. Now I want to talk to you about something that I know has been heavy on your heart. The question of whether your life actually matters, whether you are actually making a difference, whether the things you do every day have any real significance in the bigger picture of this world. Because I know that many of my children walk through life with this quiet, nagging feeling that they are somehow less important than other people, that their contribution is smaller, that their voice is less significant, that they are just one ordinary person in a world full of billions. And what could one ordinary person possibly do that would matter? I want to crush that lie right now, because it is a lie. It is one of the most destructive lies the enemy tells, and he tells it to the people who have the most potential, because he knows that if he can make you believe you are insignificant, he can keep you from ever stepping into the fullness of what I created you to do. You are not ordinary. You were never ordinary. The moment I formed you in your mother's womb, I placed inside you a specific combination of gifts, experiences, perspectives, and abilities that exist in no other human being who has ever lived or who will ever live. You are completely one of a kind, and the purpose I have for your life can only be fulfilled by you. Nobody else can do what you are here to do. Nobody else can reach the people you are meant to reach. Nobody else can carry the particular light that I placed inside you. You are irreplaceable. And it is time that you started living like you believe that. Think for a moment about a single candle in a completely dark room. That one small flame does not apologize for shining. It does not look around at the darkness and say, "What difference can I possibly make? The room is so big and I am so small." It just shines. And because it shines, everything in that room changes. The darkness has to retreat. The shapes and corners that were invisible become visible. People can see where they are going. That is what you are. You are a candle in a dark room. And when you shine the way I made you to shine, things change around you. People find their way. Hearts that were lost begin to find direction. Lives that were stumbling in the dark begin to move forward because of the light that you carry. Do not underestimate yourself. Do not shrink back from the calling I have placed on your life because you feel too small or too unqualified or too broken. Some of the greatest people who ever walked this earth started exactly where you are. Moses had a stutter and ran from his past. and thought he was the least qualified person to lead a nation. Gideon was hiding in a pit when I called him a mighty warrior. Peter was an uneducated fisherman who denied knowing me 3 times. And yet through each of these people, through their weakness and their doubt and their very ordinary humanity, I did things that the world still talks about thousands of years later. Because it was never about their strength. It was always about mine. And when my strength flows through a willing and surrendered life, there is absolutely nothing that cannot be accomplished. You are willing. Even your willingness to sit here right now and listen to these words is an act of surrender. It is your heart saying, I want more of you, Father. I want to understand your love for me. I want to know my purpose. I want to live the life you made me for. And that kind of heart is exactly what I have always been looking for. Not perfection. Not impressive credentials. Not a flawless track record. Just a willing heart. Just a soul that is open and hungry and ready to receive what I want to pour in. And you have that. You have always had that. A single act of kindness can help God's message reach someone who needs hope today. If you feel blessed by this channel, you can stand with us through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for helping us spread God's love one soul at a time. Now I want to speak to the fear that lives in your chest. That tight, uncomfortable feeling that shows up when you think about stepping out. When you think about doing something bigger than what you have done before. When you think about saying yes to the thing I have been calling you toward. That fear is real, and I am not going to pretend it is not. But I want you to understand something important about fear. Fear is not a sign that you are in the wrong place. Fear is often a sign that you are standing right at the edge of something that is going to require you to trust me in a deeper way than you ever have before. And that edge, as terrifying as it feels, is one of the most exciting places I will ever take you. Because on the other side of that fear is something that you have never experienced. A version of your life that is bigger and richer and more meaningful than anything you have lived so far. A depth of relationship with me that only comes through the experience of trusting me when trusting feels hard. A testimony that will come from the story of how you were afraid and you stepped out anyway, and how I showed up in ways that made everything worth it. The people who change the world are not the people who have no fear. They are the people who are afraid and choose to move forward anyway, because they trust the one who called them more than they trust the feeling that is trying to hold them back. So hear me say this clearly. I have not given you a spirit of fear. What I have given you is power and love and a sound and settled mind. That is your inheritance. That is what lives inside you. Fear is a visitor that has been camping out without permission in the house of your heart, and today I am serving it notice to leave. You do not have to live in fear anymore. You do not have to make decisions based on fear. You do not have to shrink your life down to the size that fear says is safe. You are called to a life that is far too important and far too meaningful to be lived small. So rise up, stand tall, take a deep breath of my courage, and step forward into what I have been preparing you for. If these words are reaching something deep inside you right now, if you can feel your spirit responding to what is being spoken, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel right now. Because every single day, I want to speak fresh words of truth and love and encouragement directly into your heart. Every day, there is something new that I want to say to you. Something that will strengthen your faith and give you exactly what you need for whatever you are walking through. Do not miss a single day of that. Subscribe now and turn on your notifications so that you never miss what I want to pour into your spirit. Now let me talk to you about patience, because this is something that many of my children struggle with deeply, and I understand why. When you are in a hard season, when you have been waiting for something for a long time, when the prayers you have prayed seem to be going unanswered, patience does not come naturally. The natural human response is to get frustrated, to get discouraged, to begin to wonder if things are ever going to change, to start to question whether I am actually at work in your situation, or whether somehow you have been forgotten. I want to address that directly and honestly today. I have not forgotten you. I have never forgotten you. The waiting you are experiencing is not evidence of my neglect. It is not a sign that I am disinterested in your situation, or that your prayers are falling on deaf ears. The waiting is part of the process. And the process is always purposeful, even when it feels painfully slow from where you are standing. There is something that is being built in you during the waiting, something that cannot be built any other way. A depth of character, a root system of faith, a capacity for gratitude, and endurance that will become the very foundation of everything that is coming next. And what is coming next requires a strong foundation. What I am preparing to pour into your life is heavy with blessing and purpose, and it needs a soul that has been prepared to carry it well. Think about a tree that grows in a place that gets a lot of wind. Over time, that tree develops a root system that is far stronger and far deeper than a tree that has always grown in a sheltered place. The wind that seemed like it was hurting the tree was actually making it stronger, driving its roots deeper, making it capable of standing in conditions that would knock over a tree that had never been tested. Your seasons of waiting and difficulty are doing the same thing in you. They are driving your roots deeper into me. They are building in you a faith that cannot be shaken, because it has already been through the shaking, and it is still standing. And here is something else I want you to understand about the waiting. My timing is not random. I am not making you wait simply because I can, or because I have forgotten about your situation. I am making you wait because there are things that need to happen first. People that need to be positioned. Circumstances that need to be arranged. Doors that need to be opened. Situations that need to be prepared. And sometimes the thing you are waiting for would actually hurt you if it came before everything else was ready. My timing is an act of love, and not an act of indifference. And when the moment finally comes, when everything clicks into place, and what you have been waiting for suddenly arrives, you will understand. You will look back at the waiting, and you will be able to see, with perfect clarity, why it had to take as long as it did. And you will be grateful. Genuinely, deeply, tearfully grateful for every single day of the wait. So how do you get through the waiting? How do you keep your faith strong and your heart hopeful when the days are long and the answers seem slow in coming? You stay close to me. You fill your mind with my word every single day. You praise me not only for what I have done, but for what I am going to do. You speak about your future with expectation rather than with dread. You choose, every single morning, to believe that today could be the day when things shift. When the breakthrough comes, when the answer arrives, when the story takes the turn you have been waiting for. And you keep choosing that, day after day, not because everything around you confirms it, but because I have promised it, and I do not break my promises, ever. Let me speak now about the area of your identity, because this is something that goes to the very heart of everything I want to say to you today. So many people are walking through life with a completely wrong understanding of who they are. They have allowed their identity to be shaped by their circumstances, by other people's opinions, by their mistakes, by their failures, by the labels that have been placed on them, by people who did not fully understand them, or who simply did not have the capacity to see their true worth. And as a result, they spend their lives feeling like they are not enough, like they have to constantly prove their value, like they are always one step away from being exposed as someone who does not really deserve the good things in their life. I want to tell you who you really are, not who your past says you are, not who your critics say you are, not who your failures say you are, but who I say you are, which is the only identity that is actually true. You are my child. That is not just a nice religious phrase. That is the most profound and most significant truth about your existence. You were created by me. You were formed by my hands. You were breathed into life by my own breath, and you bear my image. Every human being on this earth carries something of me in their design, because they were made in my image. And that means that your worth is not something that fluctuates based on what you do or do not do. Your worth is inherent. It is built into the very fabric of your being. It was there the moment I made you, and it will be there forever, completely untouched by anything that has ever happened to you or anything you have ever done. You are chosen. Before you chose me, I chose you. I did not choose you because you were the most impressive option available. I chose you because I love you. Simple as that. Deep as that. And that choosing is permanent. It does not expire. It does not get revoked when you make mistakes. It does not fade when you go through seasons of doubt. You are chosen, and you will always be chosen, because that is what I decided before the world was made, and I have not changed my mind. You are forgiven. Whatever is in your past, whatever mistakes fill your memory and make you cringe, whatever you are most ashamed of, it has been dealt with. Completely. Finally. Permanently. The price was paid on the cross, and it covered everything. Not most things. Everything. There is nothing in your story that falls outside the reach of my forgiveness. There is no chapter so dark that my grace cannot light it up. There is no failure so complete that my redemption cannot transform it into something beautiful. You are forgiven, and you are free, and I need you to start living like both of those things are true. You are equipped. I have placed inside you everything you need to fulfill the purpose I have for your life. It is already in you. The gifts are there. The strength is there. The wisdom is there. The ability to love and to serve and to create and to lead and to encourage and to heal, whatever your specific calling requires, the capacity for it is already inside you, placed there by me before you were even born. You do not need to become someone else before you can step into your purpose. You just need to trust that what I have placed in you is enough, and then offer it to me and watch what I do with it. You are protected. This does not mean that nothing hard will ever happen to you. It means that nothing can reach you that has not first passed through my hands. It means that I am always working, even in the hard things, to turn what the enemy intends for harm into something that works for your good and for my glory. It means that you have an escort of heaven walking with you through every single day, and that the forces that are for you are infinitely greater than any forces that could ever come against you. You are not walking through this world unprotected and exposed. You are walking as a child of the Most High God, surrounded by His love and watched over by His angels. Every video is created with prayer, time, and dedication to reach those who may be searching for encouragement and faith. By supporting this ministry through Ko-Fi or PayPal, you help keep this mission growing and touching more lives each day. God bless you abundantly. Now let me speak to you about worship, because I want you to understand what worship really is and why it is so important for your life. Many people think worship is something that happens for an hour on Sunday morning, something that involves music and singing and maybe raising your hands. And while all of those things can be expressions of worship, real worship is something much bigger and much more life-encompassing than that. Real worship is a posture of the heart. It is the daily, moment-by-moment choice to acknowledge who I am and to orient your whole life around that truth. When you wake up in the morning and your first thought is of me, that is worship. When you face a difficult situation and you choose to trust me instead of panicking, that is worship. When you are kind to someone who is unkind to you, because you remember that they are made in my image, and I love them too, that is worship. When you give generously even when it is not easy, because you trust that I am your provider, that is worship. When you choose to speak truth, instead of taking the easy path of a comfortable lie, that is worship. Worship is not a church activity. Worship is a way of living. It is the overflow of a heart that is genuinely in love with me and genuinely trusts that I am who I say I am. And when you live that kind of life, something extraordinary begins to happen. My presence becomes more tangible to you. The distance you sometimes feel between us begins to close. My voice becomes clearer. My guidance becomes more obvious. The peace I have promised becomes a lived reality rather than just a concept you have heard about. That is the gift of worship. Not that it gets you something from me, but that it brings you closer to me. And in my presence, everything else falls into its right place. I want to speak now about your mind, because the battle for your life is fought first and foremost in the territory of your thoughts. The enemy knows that if he can control what you think, he can control what you believe. And if he can control what you believe, he can control what you do. That is why he works so hard to fill your mind with lies. Lies about your worth, lies about your future, lies about my character, lies about other people's intentions, lies that breed fear and anxiety and bitterness and hopelessness. He is a liar, and the battlefield of your mind is where he does most of his work. But here is the good news. You have the power to choose what you think about. You have the ability, through my Spirit who lives inside you, to take every thought captive and to examine it against the truth of my word. When a thought comes in that says you are not good enough, you can hold it up against my truth that says you are fearfully and wonderfully made, chosen before the foundation of the world, loved with an everlasting love. When a thought comes in that says your situation is hopeless, you can hold it up against my truth that says all things work together for good to those who love me. When a thought comes in that says you are alone and forgotten, you can hold it up against my truth that says I will never leave you nor forsake you, that I am always with you even to the end of the age. Fill your mind with my word, not occasionally, not just when things are hard, every single day. Let my truth be the first thing you consume in the morning and the last thing you think about at night. Let it be the filter through which you process everything that happens to you. Let it be the measuring stick against which you evaluate every thought and every feeling and every belief. Because when my word is rooted deeply in your mind, the enemy's lies simply cannot find the purchase they need to grow. They hit the surface and slide off, because the truth is already occupying that space. Now I want to say something very important to those of you who have been hurt by the church, by religion, by people who represented me badly, who used my name to control or manipulate or judge or exclude, who made you feel like you were not welcome or not worthy or not good enough to be in my presence. I am deeply sorry for the ways that my name has been misused and my love has been misrepresented. Those people did not show you me. They showed you a broken and distorted version that came from their own wounds and their own misunderstandings. And I want you to know that I am nothing like that. I am not a God who stands at the door checking whether you are dressed well enough to come in. I am not a God who keeps a running tally of your mistakes and uses it against you. I am not a God who plays favorites with the people who look a certain way, or talk a certain way, or come from a certain background. I am the father who runs down the road when he sees his lost child coming home from a long way off. I am the shepherd who leaves 99 sheep to go searching for the one that is lost. I am the one who sat with the woman that society had rejected and treated her with more dignity and love than anyone in her life had ever shown her. That is who I am, and that is the God I am inviting you to know today, not the distorted version, the real one. If you have walked away from faith because of the way people treated you, I want to extend to you today a personal invitation to come back, not to a building, not to a religion, not to a set of rules and expectations, but to me, just me, the Father who loves you and has never stopped calling your name. The door is open. It has always been open. And I will be here waiting with open arms, no matter how long you have been away, and no matter what has happened in the time between. Take a moment right now, and if this channel has been a place where you have encountered my love, where you have heard words that brought healing and hope to your heart, please share this video with someone today. Think of the person who needs to hear these words more than anyone you know. The one who is struggling in silence. The one who has given up on faith. The one who is barely holding on. Be the answer to my call on their behalf. Send them this message, and let it be the beginning of something new in their life. Now let me talk to you about serving others, because a life that is truly alive is a life that flows outward. My nature is to give. Everything in creation reflects my generosity. The sun gives its warmth without holding back. The rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. The earth produces food and beauty and oxygen and life in a constant, unending act of giving. And because you are made in my image, when you give, when you serve, when you pour yourself out for the benefit of others, you are functioning in the deepest alignment with your own design. You feel most alive when you are giving your life away. That is not a coincidence. That is the way I made you. Now, giving and serving does not mean you have to have a lot. It does not mean you have to be a pastor or a missionary or someone with a platform and an audience. Serving happens in the most ordinary moments of the most ordinary days. It is the phone call you make to the friend who is struggling. It is the meal you cook for the neighbor who is sick. It is the kind word you speak to the person behind the counter who looks like they are having a terrible day. It is the patience you show to your child when you are tired. It is the forgiveness you extend to the person who wronged you. Every act of love, no matter how small it seems, is an act of kingdom building, and none of it is too small to matter. In fact, I want to tell you something about the small things. I pay attention to the small things. I celebrate the small things. The widow who gave 2 small coins out of her poverty moved me more deeply than all the wealthy people who gave large amounts out of their abundance. Because it was not the size of the gift that mattered. It was the size of the heart behind it. And the heart that gives everything it has, even when it does not seem like much, that is the heart that I love to honor. That is the heart that I love to multiply. And that is the heart that I love to use in ways that go far beyond what that person could have imagined when they first started giving. So do not wait until you have more to give before you start giving. Do not wait until you have it all figured out before you start serving. Start where you are. Give what you have. Love the people in front of you with everything you have got. And watch as I take your small, faithful, consistent acts of love and multiply them into something that stretches far beyond the limits of what you can see. Let me speak to you now about prayer, because I want to change the way you think about it. So many people approach prayer as if it is a formal meeting with someone very important and very busy, someone who needs to be impressed and who will only respond if the right words are used in the right way. And so they struggle to pray. feeling like they are not doing it right, feeling like their words are not eloquent enough, feeling like maybe they do not deserve to take up the time of the God of the universe with their ordinary, everyday concerns. If these messages have brought peace to your heart, strengthened your faith, or reminded you of God's love, please consider supporting this ministry through the Ko-Fi or PayPal links below. Together, we can continue sharing hope and God's word with countless souls around the world. My child, I want you to throw all of that out. Prayer is not a formal meeting. Prayer is a conversation between a father and a child who loves each other. And in that kind of conversation, there is no pressure to be impressive. There is no script you have to follow. There is no minimum level of eloquence required. You can talk to me the way you would talk to your closest friend, honestly, casually, with all of your emotions showing, with all of your confusion laid out on the table. You can be angry with me. You can tell me you do not understand what I am doing. You can ask me the hard questions. You can cry. You can laugh. You can sit in silence and just let me be near you. All of that is prayer. All of that is connection. And all of it is precious to me beyond what words can express. I love talking with you. I love the moments when you turn to me in the middle of your day, not at a scheduled prayer time, not in a formal setting, but just in the middle of life, just to say, Father, I need you right now. Those moments mean everything to me. They are evidence of a real relationship, not a religious performance. And that kind of real, daily, ongoing conversation is what transforms a life from the inside out. It is what builds an intimacy between us that becomes the sustaining force behind everything else in your life. So talk to me. Talk to me when you are driving. Talk to me when you are cooking. Talk to me when you are lying awake at night. Talk to me when you are afraid. Talk to me when you are excited. Talk to me when you have questions you cannot find answers to anywhere else. I am always here. I am always listening. And I am always responding. Even when the response comes in ways you did not expect and through channels you did not anticipate. Keep your eyes and your heart open, and you will begin to see my answers everywhere. My dear child, I want to close this time with you by speaking some very specific things over your life. Things that I want you to carry with you when you leave this moment and step back into the ordinary flow of your day. These are not just encouraging words. These are declarations of truth that I am speaking over you with all the authority of heaven behind them. You are going to make it. Whatever you are facing right now, whatever season of difficulty or confusion or waiting you are in, you are going to come through it. Not because you are strong enough, not because you have everything figured out, but because I am with you, and I do not bring my children to the edge of a breakthrough and then abandon them. You are going to make it. Your family is going to be okay. I see every struggle in your household. I see every broken thing and every strained relationship and every financial pressure and every health concern. And I am at work in all of it. What looks like a mess from where you are standing looks like a canvas from where I am standing. And I am painting something beautiful with every thread of your family's story. Your family is going to be okay. Your best days are ahead of you. I know it might not feel that way. I know the rearview mirror might look more attractive than the road ahead right now. But what I have planned for your future is greater than anything in your past. The greatest chapters of your story have not been written yet, and I cannot wait for you to live them. Your best days are ahead of you. You are not too late. Whatever dream you have set aside, whatever calling you have been putting off, whatever step of faith you have been afraid to take, you have not missed your moment. I am a God of second chances and third chances and 400 chances. As long as there is breath in your lungs, it is not too late. The door is still open. The invitation is still standing. You are not too late. You are enough. Not because of what you have done or what you can do, or what you know or what you own, but because you are mine, and what I make is enough. What I choose is enough. What I love is enough. You are enough right now exactly as you are, and you have always been enough. Now go. Go with all of this truth embedded in your heart. Go and live a life that reflects these things. Go and be the light that this world so desperately needs. Go and love the people around you with the kind of love that can only come from someone who has first received it from me. Go and build something that matters. Go and chase the purpose I put in you. Go and leave this world better than you found it. I am with you. Every step, every moment, every breath, in the easy days and the hard ones, in the seasons of celebration and the seasons of grief, in the moments of incredible clarity and the moments of complete confusion. I am there, always, without exception, without end. That is my promise to you, and I never break my promises. You are my child. You are deeply loved. You are carefully chosen. You are fully forgiven. You are completely equipped, and you are never, ever alone. Now go and live like you believe it, because it is true. Every word of it is true, and nothing in this world or beyond it will ever make it untrue. I love you, my dear child, today, tomorrow, and for all of eternity. Amen. My dear child, we are coming to the end of this time together, but I need you to know that this is not the end of our conversation. This is the beginning. Everything you have heard today, every word that landed in your heart, every moment where you felt something stir deep inside you, that was me. That was my spirit reaching toward your spirit. That was the love of your Father finding you right where you are. And I am not going to stop reaching for you. I am never going to stop pursuing you. I am never going to stop speaking to your heart, calling you forward, reminding you of who you are and what I have planned for your life. You are seen. You are known. You are loved beyond measure. You are chosen. You are called. You are equipped. You are protected. You are never alone. And you have a future that is so full of promise that even your wildest imagination cannot fully contain it. Believe that. Hold on to that. Let that truth be the anchor that keeps you steady on the roughest days, and the song that fills your heart on the best ones. Now, my beloved child, as these words come to a close, I want you to take one slow, deep breath. Feel the weight on your shoulders begin to lift. Feel the peace that passes all understanding begin to settle into every corner of your heart. You came to this moment carrying something heavy, and I want you to leave it here. Leave the fear here. Leave the shame here. Leave the confusion here. Leave the sadness and the exhaustion and the discouragement right here at my feet, and walk away lighter than you came. Walk away knowing that you are loved. Walk away knowing that I am with you. Walk away knowing that the road ahead is held by hands that have never once let go of anything they promised to keep safe. Go now, my child. Go with your head held high. Go with faith burning in your chest and peace filling your mind. Go and be the light in the dark places. Go and be the hope in the hopeless moments. Go and show the world what it looks like when a person truly believes they are loved by their Father. Go and live the beautiful, powerful, purpose-filled life I created you for. I am with you in every step. I am proud of you. I believe in you, and I love you more than these words could ever fully say. Always and forever you are mine, and I am yours. Amen.